Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you how to sign clients predictably on LinkedIn and ultimately help you make more money out of the platform for your B2B service. So before I actually jump into exactly how to use it, I want to answer the question, why specifically LinkedIn? So these two facts here are genuinely enough to make you realize how powerful this platform is, how many people use it, and how active it is with B2B decision makers. So over 65 million B2B decision makers are active on this platform, and LinkedIn generates 80% of B2B social media leads. So the other 20% would be Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The majority of that remaining 20%. LinkedIn takes a huge market share in generating the B2B social media leads. So as you know, it's the business social media. It's where everyone goes to do business, with a bit of element of social media to it as well. So yeah, those two stats are enough to make you realize how active it is with B2B decision makers and how many people with money that there are on this platform that you can sell your services to. So the first thing before you should do any form of outreach, before genuinely you do anything, this should be on the beginning of your agenda. So it's to optimize your LinkedIn profile. So there's a lot of different components to this. I've actually sourced a optimized profile that I found on here that you can sort of model. So your profile on LinkedIn is essentially like your landing page. So think of it in that concept. So it's like a website. Prospects will be checking this out. So you want to make sure everything's optimized. Have a clear headline stating exactly who you help, what you do. So he is a macro DTC growth partner, so he helps e-commerce brands with paid ads. So it says that stop focusing on ROAS, start focusing on revenue. So it's a USP. He's got an optimized profile picture. He's got his offer clearly in his profile. He's got a link to what I'm assuming is some sort of lead magnet, which is great. Got a lot of followers. Obviously that will come. He's got 500 plus connections. Getting to that point of 500 plus connections is honestly a very big authority builder, because a lot of people do have it, but you just want to make sure that you have above that 500 connections, because it makes you look more legitimate. Obviously, to be honest, whenever I see someone below that 500 plus connections, I do assume that they're a little bit novel, they're a little bit new. So make sure you get up to that point as quickly as possible. Next thing is featured section. So this is a great place to add any sales assets, anything of value that your ideal prospect can have and can see. So he's got a link to his podcast, which is again gonna nurture his ICP with more value. He's got a link to a discovery call. Posting, obviously you want to be posting regularly. You want to make sure that your prospects can see that you're engaging on the platform. There's a formula to posting, which I'll be running through a lot more in this video. An about section, you want to have a clear about section, preferably about who you help, what your service does, and what you can do for your ideal prospect. You want to have experience, so previous jobs, anything on that. Or ideally go into detail about what you did at your previous jobs. It all matters, trust me. You may think these things are trivial, but trust me, prospects, anyone who's serious about doing business with you is going to check out these things. Education, skills. You can get people to endorse your skills. Recommendations. This is a great place for testimonials. So people that you've done work with previously can give you testimonials here. Other than that, that's pretty much everything in terms of an optimized profile. Like I said, there's tons of people that have great profiles like this that you can model. But yeah, mainly headline, mainly offer, profile picture, banner, featured section, testimonials, posts, and about section are the key things to optimize when it comes to a LinkedIn profile. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was building a targeted network. So it's extremely important to actually build out your connections and your following around people who are in your exact ICP. So you want to define exactly who you help, exactly who you serve. I've talked about this loads in previous videos, but basically you want to create an ideal customer profile about who exactly that you're going to target, who exactly the people that you want to help are, and the people that are best for your service are. So once you've got that, there's tons and tons of different ways to find them. So for example, for myself, it would be marketing agency. So I could just put in here, marketing agency. I can also use different filters. So if I go on all filters here, which is a great way to do things. Before I do that, I want to select people, because obviously I don't want to be reaching out to companies or anything like that. This is not even possible, but essentially, yeah, go into people here. You want to go all filters. You can filter by connections. So on LinkedIn, you have first connections, which is people that you're directly connected with. Second connections, which is a connection of a first connection. And third, which is a connection of a connection of a connection. So essentially, your prospects either fall into a first connection, second connection, or third connection. I'd recommend only, if you have an established network already, only connecting with people in your second connection. That way, when you reach out to them with a connection request, they can see that you already have connections in common and mutual connections. So you can put in your location here. So for example, for this example, I'm going to go United Kingdom. Past company, doesn't really matter. Industry, I could go advertising here. Profile language, again, English would be preferable. Keywords here, so you can filter by title as well. So I'm reaching out to, I can go founder or owner or CEO, just for an example. Obviously, I'd probably put more in there, but loads of options are going to come up here. This is just one way of finding targeted leads here. So like I said, immediately there's tons and tons of people that can come up who I can help. I can simply just put that in another tab and I can just send him over a connection request. It's really simple. It's as simple as that. LinkedIn at the moment, without external software, limits your connections, the amount of connections you can send out, to 100 per week, I believe it is. So I only can send out a maximum of 400 per month, but you can use external software to surpass that limit and connect with more people at scale. So yeah, you can just roll through here, connect with multiple people, start growing your network, start expanding it in your ICP, and it's going to help you a lot. Another method that you can use is find people that are in your niche that do a similar thing, and you can use their connections to basically expand your own network. So for example, I'll just pick this guy because he's already he just came up. So if I'm connected with him, I can go into his connections if he has them open. I can use filters to search, and I can just start connecting with people through here as well. So that's a really effective method. Yeah, those are the main ways to find people in your ICP. You can obviously use Sales Navigator if you have it, which I'll be talking about later in the video. But another method, you can also just, for example, I'll go back to this guy. You can check out anyone who's engaged with this guy's content. So you know they're going to be active. You know that they're going to be actually on the platform. They're more likely to accept your requests. So I could go on people who've liked his approach. I could see if anyone's in my target market here. So for example, this guy, he's a co-founder. He helps B2B businesses. He's a marketing agency, so he would be in my ICP. So I could just send him a connection request. So it's pretty easy. They're the main ways that you can actually find people in your ideal customer profile and build that targeted network. So the next thing is an engaging content strategy. So the two main principles of this is you want to give value and you want to give it consistently. So anything that you can use to help prospects, help your ideal client actually get closer to their goal, they're going to attribute that value to you, and they're going to ultimately see you as someone who's got the authority, someone who can genuinely help them with their problems. So I recently actually made a post about the main principles in inbound and creating content, which I can actually address for this point. So I believe, let me check it out. Here it is. So I went over 16 different points in inbound, which I believe to be true. So like I said, the main thing is when you're creating this content, you want to make it good. You want to actually make it valuable. When I say good, I should really put valuable. Make the content actually helpful to your ideal customer. Consistency is everything. So the platforms are incentivized, like LinkedIn, YouTube, everything. They're incentivized to push creators who are actually consistent, because it's going to help them the most. People are more likely to give attention to people who they're familiar with. So consistency is key. Posting consistently, posting valuably. Think in years, not days. This stuff is going to take time. If you're not Mr. Beast, you're not going to post the first video, post the first bit of content and get 1,000 likes if you don't already have a following. So expect a ramp up period. You want to think in terms of years, not days. This is a very long-term strategy. And with inbound and with posting content in general, when it rains, it pours. have fun, don't take it too seriously, keep trying new stuff. This is a really important one. It should scare you how much value you're giving away. So keep posting. If it doesn't, you're not giving away enough. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. Obviously, you can play around with different channels. But yeah, that's essentially what I would keep in mind when posting on LinkedIn. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was using LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So this is extremely important. I'm unfortunately not going to be able to show you inside LinkedIn Sales Navigator and what it looks like because I don't have it at the moment, but LinkedIn Sales Navigator is extremely important for finding people at scale in your target market. It's a lot easier to do. You can also upload those lists to external software, do connection requests at masses to your ICP, which can grow your network, help you do outreach, etc. So there's a load of different filters in there that you can use. You can use stuff like Boolean search, which is going to enable you to find people who are specifically matching a criteria of people that you want to find. There's tons of tutorials online on how to use Sales Navigator. I won't go into too much depth just because I can't really show you at the moment. But yeah, I'd definitely recommend purchasing LinkedIn Sales Navigator. There's multiple different sources where you can get up to 3-month free trials. So yeah, definitely do that before you go in with the paid version. Personalized outreach messages. So you actually want to make sure when you're reaching out to these prospects on LinkedIn that you address some point of similarity, some point of contact. You don't want to be reaching in directly with a sales pitch. It's just not going to be that effective. If you have a good enough offer, yes, it will work, but ideally you want to be adding in some personalization in there. A commonality. Ideally, they've engaged with your content. You can ask them why, what they found valuable about it. You can build that rapport and go from there, really nurture the relationships. So next thing is building credibility through recommendations and testimonials. So you want to be leveraging as much social proof on your platform as you can. So if you have testimonials, if you have social proof, make sure they're presented and packaged nicely on your profile. So ideal clients can actually see that you are the one solution to help them. You can help them, you can help other people in their situation, so you must be able to help them. That's what they're going to be thinking if you have those testimonials on your profile. Networking and relationship building. So this is going to be extremely important when you're starting off on LinkedIn. You want to find people who have authority. You want to network with them. By networking, you can see who they're connected with. You can ask them for tips. They can help you. Build relationships with these people. Don't go in with a direct sales pitch. You want to always lead with value, especially on LinkedIn, because it's a very personable platform, right? It's all human to human contact. People don't like to be pitched. They're often going there to have fun, just to relax a little bit. People often just check that out in between work blocks. They want to check out some posts. They don't really want to be pitched. It's their personal inbox. So yeah, you definitely don't want to come off as spammy. I'd recommend finding some commonality and reaching out to people through that commonality. The next thing is track and measure results. So once you have a sufficient inbound marketing strategy that you can use to actually convert prospects into book calls on the calendar, like I said, you can do that through addressing some sort of engagement they've had on your profile. If you have LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you can see who's viewed your profile. The main thing to do is to address something that you guys have in common. Start off with a commonality, address that, lead from there. Never pitch directly onto a call. It always needs to be that logical next step. So you want to ideally be going back and forth with the prospect for a while before you then lead into a call. And there's definitely a very sophisticated way that you nurture it from a conversation into a call. But yeah, definitely try and build that rapport as much as possible first before addressing a discovery call. And if your profile is optimized, if you have testimonials on there, if you have a strong authority presence on there, you have 500 connections, you have quite a few followers, you're posting content consistently, they should see it as a logical step anyway, and they should naturally ask about your service, and that's where you can pitch your discovery call. So track and measure results after you have that way of doing stuff. So the main metrics you want to track here are appointment booking rate. So the amount of people that you've messaged, what percentage of that actually book an appointment with you. So that's the main metric. And yeah, you want to gauge from that the effectiveness of every method you're using. And that this is really how you're going to actually iterate and improve your strategy on LinkedIn. Because otherwise, if you're not tracking stuff, how are you ever going to know how it's working and what you can improve on it? So yeah, that's everything that I've got in this video. If you are an established agency owner making over $50,000 per month, you've got existing case studies, you've got existing happy clients, and you really want to prioritize growth in the next few months, then there'll be a link below in the description where you can book in a discovery call with me to have a chat about how we can help you. Don't worry, we're not going to pitch you on the first call or anything like that. It's literally just a call to find out about your business, what you do, and how we can help you. If you're below 50K a month and you're an agency owner, feel free to book in a call with me related to anything acquisition. In the description below, come with any questions you have. I can answer absolutely anything. So perfect. That's everything in the video. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I appreciate your time. Thank you. Bye.